The fateful night at the 94th Academy Awards. The whole world fell silent when Will Smith unexpectedly rushed onto the stage and delivered a shocking on-stage incident toward host Chris Rock in the middle of the most prestigious ceremony on the planet. The unthinkable happened just 40 minutes after that incident, as Will Smith tearfully stepped onto the podium to receive the Oscar for Best Actor. Yet this moment did not only shake Hollywood, it also became a storm that swept away his shine and pulled the career of one of the world's most influential stars into a whirlpool of criticism. Was it an instinctive outburst of a husband, or the beginning of a downward spiral? Will this act be remembered as a moment of defending love, or as the end of Will Smith's illustrious career? And to understand the entire journey from a teenage rapper to the Oscar statuette, then to his sudden downfall, let's walk through the milestones of Will Smith's life right now. From the late 1990s until now, whenever people mention the most well-known black male actors, no one can overlook the name Will Smith. Will Smith's birth name is Willard Carroll Smith, born on September 25, 1968, in the suburban area of Winfield, west of Philadelphia. His passion for music, especially rap and hip-hop, came to him when he was just 12 years old. In addition, Will Smith was quite intelligent and achieved a high SAT score. Even a friend of his mother, who worked as a recruiter, once offered him the opportunity to apply to the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology. However, Will decided not to pursue college and instead devoted himself to music. In 1985, while still in school, Will and his childhood friend Jeff Towns formed the music duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Their debut studio album was released and gained notable attention with the lead single Parents Just Don't Understand. Thanks to this success, Will Smith rose to become a young star and won the prestigious 1989 Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. However, while at the peak of fame, Will became caught up in partying and extravagant spending. He even failed to pay enough personal taxes and faced the risk of bankruptcy in 1990. Fortunately, Will Smith found the lifesaver of his life when NBC invited him to star in the sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, portraying himself and his journey from a poor black teenager to an upper-class life in Bel-Air, Los Angeles. From here, Will Smith's career took a completely new direction. Commercial success followed soon after when he starred in the action comedy Bad Boys, 1995, alongside Martin Lawrence. A year later, Smith starred in Independence Day, 1996, the blockbuster about an extraterrestrial attack on Earth directed by Roland Emmerich. The film became a massive explosion of success, earning an enormous $17.5 million USD, over 10 times its $75 million USD production cost. This success helped Will Smith's name soar like a kite in the wind. In the summer of 1997, he appeared in the first Men in Black film, starring alongside veteran actor Tommy Lee Jones. This quirky duo of agents brought nearly $600 million USD in box office revenue to Columbia Pictures, with a budget of only $90 million USD. However, the magic did not last forever. In 1999, he turned down an offer to appear in The Matrix to participate in the big-budget, $170 million USD action comedy Wild Wild West. However, this became a painful setback when the film earned only $222 million USD, insufficient to break even. After this box office failure, he stepped away from blockbusters to focus on more artistic, academy-oriented projects. In 2001, Smith proved his range as an actor when he portrayed boxing legend Muhammad Ali in the film Ali. This role earned him the first Oscar nomination of his career. In the following years, Will Smith returned to the box office race with the sequels to Men in Black and Bad Boys. However, Men in Black 2 and Bad Boys 2 did not achieve the expected success. It was not until 2004, with his leading roles in the sci-fi action project I, Robot, and the animated film Shark Tale, that Smith regained his box office appeal, even though both works received mixed reviews regarding their content. After that, Will paused action films to explore family-oriented drama. Notably, in 2006, Will Smith and his son, Jaden Smith, starred in the emotional film The Pursuit of Happiness. Thanks to this film, Will received the second Oscar nomination of his career in the Best Actor category. However, afterward, the actor decided to take a break and work behind the scenes, trying his hand as a producer for various film projects. It was not until 2012 that he officially returned as Agent J in Men in Black 3. The film was a major success, but it was also the last truly successful work before Will's career began to slow down. His subsequent projects continued to be considered lackluster and lacking depth. Many opinions suggested that Will Smith was becoming increasingly commercialized, being too lenient in choosing scripts. It was not until 2019 that things began to brighten a bit with the film Aladdin. In 2020, Will returned to the Bad Boys action franchise after nearly 2 decades with the third installment titled Bad Boys for Life. The film was unexpectedly successful, earning $426 million USD against a $90 million USD production budget, helping Smith regain part of his former standing. In 2021, Will Smith starred in King Richard, portraying Richard Williams, the father of tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. Departing from his typical humorous and friendly persona, Will successfully portrayed a father who was both ordinary and strict, yet carried immense ambition and unwavering belief in his daughters. This role officially brought Will Smith's career to its peak, as he surpassed Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog to win the Oscar for Best Actor. This award was considered the sweet fruit after more than 30 years of continuous dedication to cinema. However, before the joy was complete, the incident at the 94th Academy Awards broke out. As you already know, the spotlight of that year's ceremony was not on the awards themselves, but on Will Smith's confrontation with host and comedian Chris Rock. The reason is said to be Chris making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, which was due to a medical condition. Right after the incident, Chris Rock continued his hosting duties for the Best Documentary Feature category, which was awarded to the team behind Summer of Soul. Will Smith remained in attendance at the ceremony and also joined the after-parties. Some attendees were surprised that no action was taken and that Smith was allowed to stay. Just about 40 minutes later, Smith received the Best Actor award for his role as Richard Williams in King Richard. However, he did not offer an apology to Chris Rock until the following day. According to the Academy, Smith was asked to leave the ceremony but refused. However, some witnesses denied that Smith had ever been directly or indirectly asked to leave. Behind the scenes, there was disagreement between Academy leaders and show producer Will Packer on whether Smith should be required to leave, and ultimately, no one made a decisive call. Variety reported that Packer was the one who kept Smith in his seat because he believed Chris Rock would not agree to having Smith removed. After the ceremony, the winning artists were advised to only speak about their work, not about the incident. Police met with Packer, and he later said they were ready to detain Smith over physical misconduct, but Rock repeatedly refused to file a complaint. The next morning, Smith's son tweeted, "And that's how we do it." This tweet sparked mixed reactions, with many artists speaking out in criticism. The first consequence was Netflix canceling the sequel to the fantasy action film Bright, 2017, mainly due to public backlash after the incident. Amid the wave of criticism, Smith issued an official apology on Instagram and Facebook the following day. He admitted that his behavior was unacceptable and inexcusable, and he directly addressed Chris Rock. 3 days after the incident, Rock briefly mentioned it in his comedy show, saying he was still processing everything and would talk about it in more detail in the future. Rock stated that Smith had not reached out to him personally since Oscar night. Some social media rumors claimed Rock had apologized to Smith, but these were later confirmed to be fabricated. On July 29th, Smith posted a YouTube video directly apologizing to Rock's mother, his brother Tony Rock, artist Questlove, the other award winners, and his wife Jada. Smith said he was deeply remorseful for his actions. On March 28th, one day after the incident, the Academy announced it was launching an official investigation. President David Rubin and CEO Don Hudson then sent a letter to members stating that the formal process could take a few weeks. On March 29th, Smith voluntarily made a 6-minute Zoom call to Rubin and Hudson to apologize again. However, this call was not reported to the Board of Governors before the disciplinary meeting the next day, leading some members to believe that this lack of transparency showed poor management. On March 30th, the Academy officially opened disciplinary proceedings against Smith for violations of the Academy's Code of Conduct, including inappropriate physical contact, abusive or threatening behavior, and compromising the integrity of the Academy. Smith was invited to submit a written response within 15 days, after which the Board of Governors would vote on whether to suspend, expel, or impose another penalty. On April 1st, 2022, Smith voluntarily resigned from the Academy after being informed he could face expulsion for at least 10 years. Smith issued a brief statement, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision." Throughout his career, Will Smith has always faced controversy, especially after the 2022 Oscars incident. But his talent, hard work, and image as a devoted family man are things no one can deny. And that is the entire video for today. What about you? What do you think of this figure? Leave a comment below. I always read them all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future content. Thank you for watching, take care, and see you in the next video.